Give me a shrimp po' boy dressed and a cold, cold beer. This week on Late Afternoon Tea with Teedy and Paul David, we're singing about food, y'all, our favorite subject. Don't miss it. Well,
See?
I know Happy Birthday. That song's not about cake. It's about happy birthday. Yeah, it's not about cake. I like ice cream. Not the song, but the ice cream. We go right over to Flavors. It's right over on whatever that street is, and they have good ice cream. Shout out to Flavors. Come on, man. So we got some very nice songs about food. Thank goodness we got one that was written in this century.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Late Afternoon Tea with Teedy and Paul. As you can see, I was a little bit salty with Paul for being a smart ass when we started off our chat. Yeah, but we're in our new location now. It looks like I got so far I got with me I got Paul David and Miss Phyllis hanging out with me so far. That's all right, my darlings. As long as somebody's here hanging out with us for the late afternoon tea. We had to make a transition because Facebook is being funky about how we stream because we're in two different countries. We have to use video. And excuse me. So Facebook, as of October the 1st, they're going to start shutting down people's accounts and things like that. This is what they're threatening to do. So we escaped before they started making good on their threats because they said that they don't want videos as a part of live streams because that's for entertainment purposes. Yeah, for live streams, that's what live streams are about, entertainment purposes. So I don't know what that's all about. That's neither here nor there. But Paul David and yes, Paul's comments, delete Facebook. He's had enough of them and their foolishness. You can now watch our stream via two different mediums. You can watch it, the same stream happens at the same time on both my YouTube channel via YouTube events. It used to be called YouTube Live. Now it's called YouTube events. Whatever they want to call it, it's fine with me. But whether you're commenting on Twitch or whether you're commenting on YouTube, I use Restream so that it can reach both of those at the same time. And I have the capability now to see the messages that you all send via either one, whether it's on YouTube or on Twitch. I can see the messages. So that makes me happy because I can still communicate with you all while you're hanging out with us. So, as Paul told you in his wonderful introduction video, the songs that we're doing for the theme on Tea Time today are songs that are about food or involve food or eating in some form or fashion. And like Paul said, it wasn't that easy because people don't sing about that kind of stuff anymore. But that's okay. So we're going to get right into the actual first part, us kicking off our chat, and then right into some music after that. And thank you once again for hanging out with me and Paul David for Late Afternoon Tea with Teedy and Paul. And we will still be here on Mondays as long as Paul wants to keep doing this with me. We will still be on Twitch and YouTube on Mondays. You can find us right here, and we hope that you continue to join us. So I'll kick right off with our first actual part of our chat that we did regarding our wonderful theme today of songs about food. So here we go.
How are you? How are you?
I'm in one piece, kind of.
Yeah. I'm glad you're in one piece.
I went zinging down the stairs. I am a walking, talking, singing, cooking catastrophe.
Yes, I'm aware.
The thing is, though, it's getting more difficult to bounce back from my bullshit as I get older.
Yep, that is.
The recovery.
Yeah, recovery is difficult and more time consuming.
Ooh. I knew I had a giant bunk. It's still a little bunk on the back of my head. I
Yeah.
had a giant bunk on the back of my head, big old bunk on my shoulder blade. That I felt right away, you know. My head banged on the railing and I felt that right away. And Paratori was like, how do you feel? You know, when he helped me up because he heard me go down the stairs and he came running, to help me. And he was like, how do you, I was like, I'm okay. My head is just hurting really bad. But I didn't feel like sick or anything like that. So I figured, okay, it's not a concussion. But the next day when I woke up, my rib cage was hurting in the front and the back. My left leg was all jacked up and I was limping and walking funny and I couldn't laugh because it hurt. I was like, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So
Well, I'm glad you're all right.
I'm glad I didn't kill myself zinging down the stairs. But our stairs look really good.
They do look good. The
The
tile work is really nice.
Yeah, so as if we don't have enough catastrophes going on in this joint. Petunia got hit by a car the week before, and then I fall down our newly renovated stairs. I'm okay. I'm sore. I still got a little bloop on the back of my head, but I'm okay. So we're gonna start off our food songs. Now, the first food song that we have for you all was written by the one and only Mr. Daniel Moses Barker, better known to everybody in New Orleans and other people across the globe as Mr. Danny Barker. Extraordinary human being, and he was an extraordinary songwriter and musician. Well, of course, we're going to start off with the 1960 release of his tune called Ham and Eggs. Now, who would we be if we weren't New Orleanians doing a Danny Barker song, Ham and Eggs? I'd like to welcome my little short mama into the house. My mama showed up for me. Thank you for hanging out, mama. So here we go with Danny Barker's Ham and Eggs with me and Paul David. Okay, here we go.
If I only had $1, I'd buy some ham and eggs. I haven't had a square meal in many, many, many days. I can hear my stomach growling, and there's nothing I can do. Pray to the Lord, dear people, that it will never happen to you. Ham and eggs,
Ham and eggs,
ham and eggs,
ham and eggs.
ham and eggs. Can you hear me calling you? Ham and eggs,
Ham and eggs,
ham and eggs.
ham and eggs.
Can you hear me calling you? Well, now if I could only find $1, I'd buy me some ham and just as soon as settle for a big fat chicken leg. You see, some say there is no pandemic, and there's a lot of work to do. Pray to the Lord, dear people, that it will never happen to you. Ham and eggs,
Ham and eggs,
ham and eggs,
ham and eggs,
ham and eggs. Can't you hear me calling you? Ham and eggs,
ham and eggs,
ham and eggs.
ham and eggs.
Can't you hear me calling you? Ham and eggs,
Ham and eggs,
ham and eggs,
ham and eggs.
ham and eggs. Can't you hear me calling to you? Ham and eggs,
Ham and eggs,
ham and eggs.
ham and eggs.
Can't you hear me? Oh, calling you. If I only had $1, I'd buy some ham and eggs. I haven't had a square meal in so many days. I can hear my stomach just growling, and there's nothing I can do. Pray to the Lord, dear people, that it will never happen to you. Ham and eggs,
Ham and eggs,
ham and eggs,
ham and eggs.
ham and eggs. Can you hear me calling you? Oh, ham and eggs,
Ham and eggs,
ham and eggs, ham and eggs. Can you hear me calling you? Ham and eggs. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Ham and Eggs by the one and only Mr. Danny Barker. Our theme for today's tea time is all about food. All of the songs, me and Paul's favorite subjects, all about food. Okay, so now we're on to the second part of our chat and the next song coming up after that. So here we go with me and Paul with our little jibber jabber, and then moving on to another song. And remember, it's all about food. So here we go. So our topic for this week is all about food.
Food song.
It's about food. Yeah.
And we did have to dig deep to find the, I mean, not dig deep. Not, I'm not saying you had to look for the songs because you have a whole list of them, but there aren't a lot of songs I've heard recently on the radio about food.
No, because people sing about booty and bitches. Yeah. Dude, there's a song called WAP. Me saying booty and bitches is mild in comparison. So come on.
I know. I don't understand.
No, I
But
understand.
and it's just children, you know, children.
People don't sing about stuff like food anymore. So yes, the songs are old. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a Bean song that I couldn't find.
A Beans song?
Yeah, it was I can't even remember who the artist was, but it was all about different beans. White beans, red beans, black beans. I can't remember. Those
Okay.
are those are the three important ones.
Okay.
My
And
contributions were Alan Toussaint songs.
yes, and we're gonna do an Allen song about shrimp po' boys.
Yes. Now that's one of my favorites. Although as I got older, I prefer oyster po' boys, but shrimp po' boys are still really good. And you can get them mixed at most places. You can get a shrimp oyster mix.
Of course, that's how you do. You have to have a little bit of each one. You got to get a half and half. That's a half and half.
Where's the, oh, well, you don't even get shrimp po' boys anymore.
What are you
I haven't
talking
had a shrimp
about?
po' boy in a,
I make my own.
I know you make your own.
Yeah. Sometimes I think he forgets where I live. I live directly on the coast of Norway. Boy, we got shrimp all over the place. We got shrimp. We got beautiful shrimp and beautiful seafood. So I make shrimp po' boys on a regular basis. But before we get on, move on to shrimp, our next song for late afternoon tea, the theme of today, like we said, is all about songs that have to do with food. And yes, some of them are quite old, like this next one. This next tune was written by Percy Venable in 1926. That's a long time ago. And it was made famous by Louis Armstrong. But one of my favorite versions of it is him and Miss Velma singing it, and it's called Big Butter and Egg Man. So here's me and Paul with Big Butter and Egg Man coming right at you with songs about all about the food. All about the food. Okay. There we go.
Oh, I want a butter and egg man from way out in the west. I get so tired of working all day. I want somebody who wants me to play. Now pretty clothes, they never were mine. But if my dreams come true, the sun's gonna shine. So I want a butter and egg man. Does some big butter and egg man want me? Oh, I want a butter and egg man from way out in the west. Oh, now I get so tired from working all day. I want somebody who wants me to play. All those pretty clothes that never were mine. But if my dreams come true, that sun's gonna shine. So I want a butter and egg man. Oh, does some big butter and egg man want me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want a butter and egg man from way out in the west. get so tired from working all day. I need somebody who wants me to play all those pretty clothes that never were mine. But if my dreams come true, the sun's gonna shine. So I want a butter and egg man. Does some big butter and egg man want me? Does some big butter and egg man want me? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah, big butter and egg man. Yeah, Paul really he made that one he made that one fancy. Not yeah, not so ridiculous like it can be. That was fun. Okay, we're getting on to part 3 of our chat on late afternoon tea with Teedy and Paul. Those of you all who decided to come over and join us here on YouTube and on Twitch, thank you all so much for joining us over here for late afternoon tea. We'll be here on Mondays from now on. We were already here also because I streamed to all of them at the same time, but I had to take Facebook off that streaming list because I don't want to get in trouble with them. I'm not trying to start no trouble with these people. We have our virtual tip jar here. If you would like to leave a tip for the band, that is the information listed right there. The band being me and Paul. If you'd like to donate to the cause, that's the information right there. And I can't get past without a shameless plug because of the fact that all of the songs are about food. Yes, my cookbook is available in ebook version at the Amazon Kindle store for only $5.99 US. Come on, you got that between the cushions on your sofa. So get this ebook and cook some good food while you listen to Monday afternoon teas with me and Paul. Okay, moving right along to the next part of our chat. I did not mean to turn that back on. Moving on to the next part of our chat with me and Paul about late afternoon teas theme for today, songs that are all about food. So here we go.
Butter and eggs, that's pretty easy to find.
Yes.
Every day I have butter and eggs.
Yep. And ham and eggs. It's easy to find.
Yeah, although we don't do too much ham. We do some bacon, and we do some pork tenderloin, and we do chops.
And eggs?
No, I'm just talking about ham. We don't typically eat a bunch of ham. Yeah, no, eggs I eat every day. But we eat them with bacon or smoked salmon.
Those are both good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When no one writes songs about smoked salmon and vegetables.
Save the bones for Henry Jones because Henry don't eat no meat.
That's the truth.
So that one's technically kind of sort of about vegetables.
Yeah, two songs I learned from Danny Barker. Ham and eggs and Save the Bones.
Yes. Yeah. So, of course, we started off the show with Danny Barker's Ham and Eggs. Now we are going to do another song that Danny Barker wrote. Danny wrote this song, and it was recorded the first time by Nat King Cole with Johnny Mercer and Nat King Cole's trio in 1947. And it's a song that Danny wrote called Save the Bones for Henry Jones, because Henry don't eat no meat. So here we go with me and Paul. Once again, I mean, Danny wrote some good songs about food. So here we go with Save the Bones for Henry Jones by the one and only Mr. Daniel Moses Barker. And this one came out in 1947. So, save them bones, Henry.
We are gonna have a supper We'll eat some food that's rare. And at the head of the table, we'll place Brother Henry's chair. Invite all the local big dogs. We'll laugh and talk and eat. And then we'll save the bones for Henry Jones, 'cause Henry don't eat no meat. Today I'll go to market and buy up a whole lot of fish. Well, that will thrill Brother Henry, because fish is his special dish. I'll get a large can of molasses to have something nice and sweet. And then we'll scrape up those bones for Henry Jones, 'cause Henry don't eat no meat. Henry, he's not a drinker. He barely takes a nip. Oh, no, no, he don't need no napkin, because what Henry eat don't drip, blip. One day we had a banquet. It really was a bake. Oh, they started off with short ribs, and they finished off with steak. But when the feast was over, Brother Henry, he just kept his seat. And then we scraped up them bones for Henry Jones, 'cause Henry don't eat no meat. Go ahead, bud. Yeah. Henry, he's not a drinker. He barely takes a nip. Oh, no, no, he don't need a napkin, because what Henry eat don't drip, blip. One day we had a banquet. It really was a bake. Well, now they started off with short ribs. Then they finished off with steak. But when the feast was over, don't you know, Henry, he just kept his seat. And then we saved the bones for Henry Jones, 'cause Henry don't eat no meat. He's an eggman. Henry don't eat no meat. He's a vegetarian. Henry don't eat. He don't eat no meat. Yeah.
Yeah, Save the Bones for Henry Jones by the one and only Mr. Daniel Moses Barker. Yeah. I like that song. I have to add that one to my repertoire. That was the first time today doing that with Paul playing it was the first time I have ever sung Save the Bones for Henry Jones. Also the first time that I ever sang the last songs that we did. First time ever singing Ham and Eggs. First time ever singing Big Butter and Egg Man. Yeah, so I have a lot of firsts today. And my first time singing the Alan Tucson song that we're closing out the show with today. So here we go with part 4 of our chat. And it's the second to last thing. We still got some more coming for you. Still got some more. So here's me and Paul with the second half of our chat for late afternoon tea. Remember, once again, we have a virtual tip jar. It is not necessary to tip to hang out with us. It's if you want to do it, if you want to do it, if you want to do it. That's all it's about. We I'm doing this mostly so that I don't lose my mind not working for the past 6 months. I've had like 6 gigs past 6 months. Yeah, so it's really nice to still have a way to be creative. And Paul is helping me have a fantastic way to be creative right now. So here we go with part 4 of our chat for today. The theme for our show today, if you didn't notice, is songs about food. So here we go. Let me pull up this next one. Okay. Yeah, yeah. But I have a whole playlist that I listen to while I'm cooking, and it's
Yeah.
all food songs. Louis Jordan and yeah, people like that. Pork chops and gravy.
Yeah, Louis Jordan had quite a number of them.
Yeah, get them from the Peanut Man. Songs like that. Yeah. So there's like I said, yeah, the songs are older that are about food because people don't sing about fun stuff like food no more.
It's not what the kids are buying.
I'm too old to be worried about what the kids is buying.
I'm not worrying about it. I'm just telling you that's why there's no food song.
Yeah, because they all eat garbage.
Yes, they do. People
They
do not
do.
know how to eat. Adults do too.
But I have to say, the younger folks that are around me, musicians, they're getting more and more into good food, making food.
Oh yeah.
And they're also becoming much more aware of where their food is coming from.
Uh,
And I like that. Like our son, Matthias is cooking now. He calls me, sends me messages and asks me for recipes and things like
sure.
that. And he was, picking up something from the shop already done all the time for a long time. Then he was realized I am spending way too much money on takeaway
Yeah.
and eating foolishness. And now he's discovering I can cook stuff, it's cheaper and it tastes so much better. And when I've showed him how easy making a decent meal is and fast, he's like, okay, I
Yeah.
can do this. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's generally when it happens, when you start running out of money. Takeout, you feel like, oh my God, I can't do this for the rest of my life.
exactly. It's too much money and it's garbage.
But I'm not surprised when musicians cook because we're artists.
You know.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing, I've gotten better about eating seasonal.
Yeah, well,
It's,
I think grocery stores know that too. And even though they have, I mean, some things only come in season and some things happen all year round. But I think when things come in season, grocery stores know that, like, you know, there's a demographic of people who are going to look for that. A whole bunch of them just waiting on Creole tomatoes to come into season, and a whole bunch of people waiting on cherries, and then you get a very brief shining moment of figs in July, and then that's it.
exactly. And that that window that you have for the Ponchatoula strawberry, things like
Yeah.
that. In
Cherries are just like here and gone. If you don't get them the first day they come out, they're never any good, and by the second week, they're just almost over.
yeah, it's here. Cherries are in abundance here in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, in abundance here. Right now, it's the apple season now here.
Mhm.
Apples and apples and apples and wonderful apples, and you can like walk when you're taking your walks and stuff. You see, I mean, the trees like heavy with them, like this in
Yeah.
everybody's yard. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think we overdo it with the apples in the States. There's always 700 different types of apples in every store, 24, I mean, 12 months every year.
yeah. The thing
But
is,
yeah,
the thing that like really creeped me out. My mama had just as like an experiment. got this apple. She was like, this apple didn't look right to her. I think it was from Walmart or something, the Walmart grocery store part. She just sat the apple on the table. She said, I want to see what goes on with that. That apple, like 3 months later, was still looking
Yeah.
like apple. And she was like,
Yeah, there's something wrong there.
there, she said, not a brown. And she was showing it. She was like, look at it. Not a brown spot on it, just apple. She was like, okay. She said, I threw it away because it was scaring me, not because it
Yeah,
was rotten. She's
yeah, that is.
freaking me out because not a bump, not a brown spot, nothing. She said, no, look at it. She went, yeah, I'm not.
No, don't eat that.
She was like, why does it still look like an apple after 3 months? It should be like this. So yeah, that's another thing about knowing where your food comes from. It's a good idea to do your research on that kind of thing. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna get blacklisted by Walmart for making that statement about their GMO infested apples. But I don't care. We don't have Walmarts here in Norway. So they can blacklist me. I'm all right with that. Okay, so here we go. We're on our second to last song. Now, this song was made famous. Several people recorded it. Billie Holiday, all kind of people. But the first big recording of this song, it was written by Wesley Kid Wilson, and it's a song called "Give Me a Pig Foot and a Bottle of Beer." Because if you're gonna eat a pig foot, you might as well have a bottle of beer too. I mean, come on. It seems logical, right? So here's a Bessie Smith tune written by the one and only Kid Wilson, and it's called "Give Me a Pig Foot and a Bottle of Beer." And me and Paul hope that you all enjoy this one. So here we go. Let me pull that one up for you. Pigfoot. Yeah.
25 cents? Ha ha, no, no. I wouldn't pay 25 cents to go in nowhere. Cause listen here. Up in Harlem every Saturday night, when the highbrows get together, it's just too tight. They all congregate at an all-night strut. And what they do is touch, touch, touch. Oh, Hannah Brown from way across town gets full of that corn and starts breaking them down. Just at the break of day, you can hear old Hannah say, give me a pig foot and a bottle of beer. Slave it, daddy, 'cause I don't care. I feel just like I want to clown. Give the piano player a drink because he's bringing me down. He's got a rhythm, yeah, when he stomps his feet. He sends me right off to sleep. Check all your razors and your guns. See, we gon' be wrestling and hassling when that wagon comes. I want a pig foot and a bottle of beer. Slay me, 'cause I don't care, my darling. Slay me, 'cause I don't care. he's got a rhythm. Yeah, when he stomps his feet, he sends me right off to sleep. Check all your razors and your guns. We gonna shim, shim, shabby when that wagon comes. I need a reefer and a whole gang of gin. Send me, cause I'm in my sin, my darling. Send me, cause I'm full of gin. Chin chin butt.
Yeah. Now, everybody that knows me knows that I don't drink beer. What I was consuming, ginger beer. I don't drink beer. The only beer that I drink is my father-in-law's homemade beer. Regular beer freaks me out. But I was drinking a ginger beer while I was singing that song. So I guess that's in the neighborhood. I shouldn't sit a ginger beer bottle by Buddha, huh? Sorry, Buddha. Okay, I'll put that over there. It has been so much fun. Thanks for the folks that actually made their way over to both YouTube and to Twitch to hang out with us today. We truly appreciate it. We really appreciate it. We'll be back here if Bud keeps putting up with me. We're going to be back here again next Monday making music for you. We come up with themes and we put songs together, and we hope that you all enjoy it. We have fun doing it. Sometimes it's stressful. Not for me so much. It's more stressful for Bud because he actually has a real job. He's a music teacher for a school. Right now, I don't have no real job. I ain't got no real job right now. This is my real job right now. Mondays, sitting in here, chatting with you all. That's what I do now. So we're going to do, right now, we're going to have our last chat. And then we got one more song. And the song that we're closing out with, this one is special to both of us. Bud loves this song. Bud is Paul David. Paul loves this song, and I love to learn this and do this song because of the fact that it was written and recorded by my mentor, Mr. Alan Toussaint. So here's the last little part of our chat. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us here at Afternoon Tea, Late Afternoon Tea with Teedy and Paul. We will be on YouTube events and Twitch every Monday now. If Facebook decides that, they're getting a lot of flack for them trying to cut out musicians being able to do this kind of thing. If they decide to change their policy, I haven't found much that makes them change what they do. But we will be right here where we're safe and where we're comfortable. If you all would like to give a virtual tip, here is the information to do that. It is not required. It is appreciated, but not required for you all to hang out with us. And here we go with our last little goodbye in our chat and the last song. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with us. Thank you all for continuing to support musicians during this very strange time where there's not a lot of places that we can go out and work right now. I'm fortunate because there are some safe places still around and about in Norway where they're really following the rules of how you can be in an environment. So I'm able to work a little bit, but there's not enough work to actually survive on right now. So thank you all for hanging out with us and supporting, your artists that you loved to go and hear and see in person. So we're going to close out with our chat. Thanks y'all for coming over to making the migration and hanging out with me. In this last little bit of chat, you're going to see I had some weird stuff in my tea. So that's basically what the goodbye is about. And we're going to close out with an Alan Toussaint song. It was on his album. It was on his CD called Songbook that came out in 2013. And it's a song called Shrimp Po' Boy Dressed. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me and Paul. And here we go with the last bit of our chat and then the Alan Toussaint song with our theme for today, songs about food. We really do appreciate you all hanging out with us. So here we go. This looks suspect. And I've been drinking it. That don't look good.
Yum.
I'm gonna die. Yeah, that don't look good.
All right.
Once again, sir, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Skål. That's the end of my coffee. It's bitter at the bottom of the cup.
I have garbage in mine. Looks like bugs.
Bugs.
I'm not sure what it is.
Ground up cherry pits.
It's hibiscus. So maybe that's what this is. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that is what it is. It's little flower bits in the bottom of it. Okay.
Nice.
It's not bugs. Once I got to the bottom of the cup, I was like, I don't. I've been drinking that, but it's bits of flowers.
Give me a shrimp po' boy dressed and a cold, cold beer. A shrimp po' boy dressed. Hurry, bring it here. Been too long since my lips had a visit. Doesn't take long for my lips to miss it. Bring me a shrimp po' boy dressed and a cold, cold beer. Give me a shrimp po' boy dress. Yeah, put everything on it. I know where I am, and I know I can get it like I want it. Hey baby, back there cooking, how you been? Do it up good and make my taste buds grin. Give me a shrimp po' boy dressed and a cold, cold beer. Now wherever there are people breathing, you can find something to eat. But there's only one place on this earth space where the eats greet your teeth. Ooh, give me a shrimp po' boy dressed and a cold, cold beer. They taste so good together, you might even call them pairs. They usually hang out in the same places among a bunch of happy faces. Give me a shrimp po' boy dressed. Oh, and bring a cold one. Ha ha. Oh, give me a shrimp po' boy dress. We're down in New Orleans. When it's a dress that way, dressed, they know exactly what you mean. Hey baby back there, don't forget that chili brew. And if you got a couple of raw oysters while I'm waiting, bring them too. Give me a shrimp po' boy dressed and a cold, cold beer. Oh, and a cold, cold beer. Bring it on out. Come on.